What's going on, everybody? Gentleman94 here. Welcome back to Sci-Fi Wednesdays. We are back on the Bandai 1/72nd scale A-Wing, and I am super excited to go ahead and finish off the assembly today, and then go ahead and prime this beautiful little spaceship. Now, one of the things I will mention is it's going to be a really short update today, guys, because it's not a lot left to do in terms of assembly, and I just want to go ahead and hit it with a nice black basing in preparation for a potential marbling effect. We also have to come back and mask off the canopy, so I'll do that today in a little bit of a quick off-camera thing there, because you know what, if you mask one canopy, you pretty much masked them all, so that shouldn't be too bad. Then we're going to use that as a covering so we don't lose all of our detail on the cockpit itself when we go ahead and overcoat this with a primer. So that's pretty much all we're going to be doing today is assembly and primer coat, so let's jump on in and get this thing finished off in the assembly category. Alright, everybody, we are back, and I took the liberty of also masking off the rear intakes so that I don't lose that beautiful yellow I painted last episode. Now, in the actual canopy area, we're just going to mask off as we do any other canopy. We're going to use thin strips of Tamiya tape for the perimeter, and then we're going to cover the large area in the center with larger pieces of Tamiya tape, and that should be it. Not too difficult. The nice thing about having a masked off canopy is you can use that then to cover the actual cockpit itself, because I did spend some time on that cockpit, so I don't want to screw it up by overcoating it and then end up getting paint up inside the canopy, and that's just not going to be good. So this should hopefully block out any of that nasty overspray so we can keep this nice and pristine. Speaking of priming, we're going to go ahead and jump into the priming now, and we're going to use NATO Black XF69. Such a beautiful color, and I'm really excited to use this as our black basing. Now we're going to use our stand here that comes with the model. We're going to use that as a holder so we don't have to touch the paint or leave any fingerprints. So let's go ahead and load up our airbrush and get this black basing down. I told you it's going to be a shorter episode today, guys. We are finished with what I wanted to do here on the bench for tonight. I have all the parts nice and assembled. We have our black basing down. We have our cockpit canopy on, masked off, and we are ready to start painting next episode. Now, talking about painting, the reason I'm doing this black basing is because I wanted to achieve fading and subtle changes in paint, because a lot of the A-Wings that you see illustrated have this kind of weathered appearance, and I want this to look a little bit more used, like it's been out on the front line a little bit longer. Not as heavily as like an X-Wing, but just heavily enough to give it some character. We have our paint callouts right here. We know we have the light gray and we have the brick red. Shouldn't be too hard. We're going to be using a couple different colors for that, and I'm thinking we should be good to go. Now for the red, I have this whole red. This also by Tamiya, that should be decent enough with a little bit of maybe white or some mixtures to give it that nice brick red. And then of course with the white, I'm planning on doing a little bit of mixing of that, maybe with some buff. That should be a decent color to give it a little bit of an off-white appearance. But I think we'll have to tackle that next episode, guys. Like I said, just a real quick update. Thank you so much for joining us. Next episode will be a little longer because we're going to start painting this bad boy and get this thing looking the part. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you back here next time on Sci-Fi Wednesdays. Until then, keep on building. Go grab yourself some bench time. We'll see you back here next week on Sci-Fi Wednesdays.